Hey everybody, today I'm going to talk about 10 cards in Reign of Jafar that are worth playing that nobody's really talking about. Okay, well, 9 cards nobody's talking about, and 1 card people kind of are talking about. But there's a tournament at Southside Gaming, and we saw Emerald Steel was like the top dog, and I don't know if that's going to stay that way because, Prince John's crazy. There's some nuts in this set, but I want to talk about the things that people aren't talking about. What could give you an edge at locals or maybe even a set champ if you look at these cards, invest in these cards, and none of them are very expensive because if they're not in the meta, they're like 10 cents. So let's get into it. So first off, I have Bruno Madrigal Single-Minded. This card is nuts. So when you play him, you can choose a character and they don't ready next turn, which is like something we've had already. We have the dual color Ana from last set. But this card, it just fits everything perfectly. It's a 3/4, which is a great stat line for things like Rapunzel, which I didn't put on the list, but it's definitely an option. But here are like good things you can set up for. So you can use Bruno to, on turn 4, let's say you choose an Ariel, and you don't actually want to challenge it with Bruno. You can play Maui next turn, and then you can banish that. Or any card you don't want singing anymore, like Ursula or Ariel or even Diablo, I guess. You can keep him exerted. And keep them from singing just by now you're exerted. It's amazing. It's a great way of punishing your opponent for getting value off their cards, and then you're just like, well, now you don't get to do that next turn. And it can set yourself up for things. Like I said before, let's say you exert a Smee. One, the Smee is going to take another damage, which is great. Two, Bruno can challenge the Smee, and then you can use Rapunzel on the Bruno. You could use Belle on the Bruno. You can do whatever you want because you have solidified that Smee as a target for your Bruno, and now he's going to take it out. This card's just nuts, and I think it should go in almost every Amethyst deck. I think every color combo with Amethyst could use this card. Ruby Amethyst could use it because they do all the bouncing. All the bouncing, you keep stuff exerted for Maui Shark, whatever it is there. I think Blurple could use it because, yet again, they bounce a lot in Blurple, and he could be used to set up things for Into the Unknown, because maybe he's gonna sing it the next turn, and then you just keep him exerted, which is just phenomenal. And it also sets up for like, he exerts somebody, maybe they're big, maybe they have like 6 health, and then you can crab the next turn or fox crab, whatever. You just, like I said, you keep the target on board, which is super important. I think this card is disgusting, to be honest. I think it's one of the best cards they've printed in a long time for Amethyst. Number two, this one's a little bit of a shakier pick because Ruby Amber is just not in a good spot right now, especially if Emerald Seal is such a popular combo. But this card is just crazy, so I figured I had to mention it. So it's a 2-cost action. You draw a card, which is, we love our cantrips. And then chosen character gets +5 strength this turn, and then at the end of the turn you banish them. So there's a lot of good uses for this. One, I think an important thing that people aren't really mentioning is that you banish the character, which, in most cases is bad, but there's some cards that want to be banished, like Mr. Snoops over here, or like the 4-cost Prince Eric. It's hard in these color combos to find them, but there are characters that want to be banished, and this is a way of banishing them forcefully, um, which is pretty cool. But the +5 strength is crazy. There's games I've played in testing where like a Nala will take out like anything with 5 health, like something just much bigger than you'd be able to do with like crab or something. Like you just take out anything. You could give it to like a Daisy Duck here. Could take out Maui Shark. Could take out Chi and Po. Like what are the numbers here? Or like Nala could take out Cogsworth or something. You'd be like, oh, yeah, I can question my Cogsworth. This is 0 strength, and then you just hit for 5 and murder their Cogsworth. Like there's some combos here. And it's not very expensive either. So if you have like 6 ink, you could Nala into something like a Pete, and then Rapunzel off the damage. And even though Nala's gonna die at the end of the turn, you still got so much value off of that. I think this card's really good, and I think if you're playing Ruby Amber, you have to be playing this card. I don't know how you do it without. It's such an opener. It's like the sneak attack. You're drifting on them. No, it's a great card. Please add if you're playing Racers or Ruby Amber or anything, add this card. It's like my first add. I've been messing with Ruby Amber a little bit. This card is like a 3 of, instant 4 of. I had to change it because it's just too good. I know number 3 we have Mirabelle, Madrigal, Curious Child. And this card I thought at first was like, I think it's okay. But gaining 1 lore is so strong. That's why we play Rose, that's why we play Goat. And this card is just, it's situational. Of course, you have to have songs, so you can't play the card without songs. But it's a shift target, which is important to know, I think. I played a deck with Lantern in it. So you would play like 1-drop Cinderella and then Lantern Mirabelle, and the next turn Cindy would like sing Friends, and then you could shift and quest and bring back the friends. It was fun. It was cool. I don't know how much the Madrigals are gonna work out, but this card's good anyway because you can bounce it with Mim and you can just like cycle the lore. It's only a one drop, so it's a good target for the bouncers, and you're gaining a lore as long as you have a song in hand. And if you're playing it in Amber Steel, Whole New World, you know they always love to play like a bunch of one drops, and they can add this in there and gain one lore instantly, which can close out a lot of games. If you're at like 18 lore, then you just I wheel into two Mirabelles and win instantly. So it's definitely a sleeper card, and if you're playing any songs, I suggest looking into this. It's not a must add, I don't think, to every song deck, but if you're playing Amber and you're playing a lot of songs, then it probably deserves a spot, at least like a few. And remember, if you're doing Amber Amethyst, which is what this card is meant for, you have crabs and stuff, so you don't have to like, oh, it's just a 0/2, it's not that good. Like, there's ways to buff it, there's ways to make use of it after it's on the board. Okay, number 4, we got Lewis, the Endearing Alligator. He's finally in the game. How long did it have to take for Lewis? And he's doing nothing musical at all, which is kind of sad. But this card is a 3 inkable. This character enters play exerted, which we've seen before. It's pretty common now with Emerald. And when you play this character, chosen opposing character gains Reckless during their next turn, which is crazy. I've played this card so much in Sealed the past few days that I had to add it to this list because like this is usable all the time. Of course, Reckless, there's a lot of ways to get around Reckless, like singing and using abilities, but for the most part, most characters are not going to be able to get around it. So it's really fun if you could combo it with the Jeweled Collar. So whenever one of your characters is challenged, you put the top card in your Inkwell, which is it's a cool combo. It's kind of slow, but like maybe it's good for Emerald's Half Hour because they want to ramp. And you're probably getting the challenge out. I doubt. I mean, unless they're like Steel Song and they can like Strength of a Raging Fire, but for the most part, you're getting it. It can force Rapunzel triggers too. Like if you have another character on board, like let's say you have a Daisy, and they're like, oh, I don't want to lose my character to Lewis, so they go into Daisy, and then you can Rapunzel that damage off. It's niche, but I think it's fine. And also like if you choose a 2 strength character and they go into Lewis, and you can just Rapunzel the 2. Um, and I think in Emerald Amethyst, this might be pretty cool because you could just bounce it with Snake and Fox. I mentioned bouncing a lot, but like I mean, it's a reusable ability. You just get the Reckless again. That's pretty cool. It's great against like Diablos and stuff. You know, just choose their Diablo. Their Diablo has to challenge unless he can sing, and most of the times he's probably gonna sing. But if he doesn't, you know. All right, number 5, we got this 3-cost Genie Satisfied Dragon. Finally, a dragon that's not Sisu or Maleficent, I guess. Oh, we have Mushu now with 4 different dragons. That's not a lot of dragons, guys. It's not good. So we have a 3/4, and during your turn he's evasive. It's very simple. I'll admit it's very simple, but it's very good because I play the 2-drop Magic Broom that has evasive during your turn, and that card puts in absolute work against Diablos and Go-Go's and everything evasive ever. It just murders them. Especially because like Crab plus Genie or Crab plus Broom can take out a Maui Shark or an actual Genie, like 4-drop Genie. I think Genie on Genie violence is definitely going to happen with the Amethyst Steel. I think this card is like Amethyst Steel coated. I mean, he's very purple, but no, I think it's great. This card is not a 4 of, I don't think, in any deck, but if this evasive meta continues like it has been, I think this card is very good. And it also sets up for Rapunzel for you Amber Steel players. Amethyst Steel sets up for Belle. It's great for Crab, like I mentioned. I don't know, I think it's a very good card. It's like the average stat line already, so being evasive on your turn is just a plus. Um, so very good. Then we have, oh my gosh, the Menace of Sealed. If you've played any Sealed, you've probably seen this card and it's probably wrecked you because it's disgusting. So it's a 4 inkable, 3/4, and when you play the character, you can do 2 damage to a chosen damaged character. They have to be damaged, but it's fine because there's so many ways around that. One, you can challenge into a character. Now they have damage. Now you hit them for 2, and they're probably gonna die because why not? And then there's options where like sometimes they damage their own characters, and you just take advantage of that. You're like, oh, they challenge into you, and then you hit them on the way back. It's great, and it also gets around things that are like banished in a challenge, which I know is not too relevant in the meta, but like if it is if it is relevant ever, this is a good way around it. And there's so many ways to set it up too. So we can set it up with Dormouse, which is obviously what it's meant for. So when you play Dormouse, you can put a damage counter on a character. I thought about this like this kills almost everything in the game that people play on like turn 1 through 3. It doesn't kill Daisy, unfortunately, but if you Dormouse pretty much anything, and then you play March Hare 2 turns later, you'd probably kill the thing. You can also play Ed, the 3 drop uninkable that does 2 damage, but like it's uninkable. But you can play both if you want the full line. But Dormouse into March Hare is just so good. I was thinking like you put 1 damage on Calhoun, 2 turns later, you play March Hare, you kill the Calhoun. Like that's great. There's no downside to that, I don't think. Another great one is like Storm. If you're 3 drop Sing Storm or like maybe a Diablo, they Sing Storm, do 2 damage, deal 2 more. You can kill Lawrence, you can kill a Daisy, you can kill anything. 4 damage is a lot. It's very good in this meta. And then Mr. Smee, like if he ever exerts, takes 1 damage, boom, March Hare done. Like, and then you have a 3/4 on the board. Like this is not bad. This is a very good card. Stat line wise, and the 2 damage is just very flexible. Like you're almost always going to have a moment where dealing 2 damage is good. We've seen the Ana see a lot of play, and obviously Go-Go is very good because I mean people would not be playing Go-Go if there was no damage on characters. So just think about this card if you're playing. I think Emerald Amethyst, Ruby Emerald, and Emerald Steel is where this belongs. I don't know if like Amber and Sapphire don't really support it as well. I mean I think it can go anywhere, but let's stick to the other 3 colors. All right, next. Number 7, Olaf recapping the story. This one's a bit of a stretch. I'm not gonna lie. It's like I think this card is very situational, but it could be very good because Sapphire has terrible 1 drops, as you all know. But this is like a utility. You can use in a lot of mostly Ruby styles, but any deck really where you want to challenge at any point where you just, oh man, I can't kill the Smee with my 3/3, but suddenly I can because now he has -1 strength, and then you just took a positive trade by playing a 1 drop. Like it's not even a big deal. I think it's great in Blurple. I mean, this is where you want it because you can just reduce their character strength and then take them out with a bit of advantage. It's a 2/1, and if it's the Frozen theme, come on. Then there's the Ruby side where you can like, let's say you ramp with Tipo on 2 and then you have 4 ink on turn 3. You could play Olaf, give a character -1, and then play CC or Brawl and finish them off. Which, my least favorite thing in the game, but it exists, so I have to mention it. Then there's always the shift, which I don't think the shift is very good, but it's here. Like if you want to turn to Sing Storm with Olaf, it's an option, right? So there's always utility. I think there's room for it somewhere. I did have a deck one time where I was playing Bell and Olaf, and I would sing Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo on turn 2 to play Prince John for free. It was just so dumb. Outside Diablo, so like there's 3 different ways to sing Bibbidi on 2, so I could bounce that character that sang it and play Prince John, and then you can sing or you can play Ursula and try and discard. You lose cards so fast, but it's kind of fun. All right, number 8, my favorite. All hail Vinny, I've been saying. So Vinny the Green Pigeon. Also, I'd like to mention that the number order means nothing. Like, I just put them in a random order. There's no like, oh, number 1 is better than number 10. Like, no, they're all the same. But this card is during your opponent's turn. Whenever one of your characters is banished, gain 1 lore, which is something we've seen before with the Amethyst Hades, but it's a 6 uninkable. And who is playing a 6 uninkable? Like, nobody. We're not getting there. Anyways, so 3 was way more approachable, and I think you could play this at any point in the game, and he's probably gaining a lore off the banish thing, which is good. Like it's good. It depends on you have to build your deck around it. But if you're predicting like a be prepared, you're like, oh, I have 4 characters on board, and they're gonna be prep, and you throw down a Vinny. Suddenly that be prep doesn't feel so good. You gain 4 lore off the be prep. It's also great if you're aggroing, like you play Diablos and Daisies, and you're going at it with whatever color you choose, but you just got a bunch of characters on board. You throw in a Vinny, and you just kind of stop their whole plan. Because they might have had a way to kill all your characters, but like, is it even worth it? Now you gain a lore anyway. Like, why kill the Diablo when you could just let it quest next turn? I think Vinny just puts people in a chokehold in certain situations, and you should be playing it. Play at least one Vinny. Just try it out. Just be like, oh, I found my Vinny, and I won the game because Vinny's crazy. Also, he's a 1/4, so you Amber Steel players can get your Rapunzel off. I will mention this every time because it's an option. Get your Rapunzels. It's a 1/4 though, so it's not like ideal, but we're getting our heals, okay? Number 9, and I hate all the Emerald love, but like Emerald's good. Suddenly, they botched Sapphire this set, but they made it Emerald good. And Ruby, no, not Ruby. No, no they kind of didn't. Ruby's actually sucks. Um, okay, so it's 7 inkable. It's a Basil undercover detective. So he's a detective. Think about it. He's a 5/4, which is okay. He goes for 2. I think it's kind of a bad stat line, but when you play the character, you can bounce the character, which is very good, and an ability that is undercosted for his stat line, I think. And whenever he quests, you choose a character, or you choose an opponent, and they discard a card at random. I don't like the random. I kind of like, I don't know. I guess random's better than them choosing, right? Anyways, very fun card. It's like Mother Knows Best, and we don't talk about Bruno on a body, which is very weird to think about, but I think this card's incredible. It's inkable and it's emerald, so it has to be good, right? Because I mean, look at the 2 cards I'm showcasing. They're uninkable emeralds. I think this card goes really well with Bend to My Will because you're already at 7 ink. So then you can just next turn you bounce and you bend, and then the discard doesn't really matter anymore. But whatever. It's mostly for the bounce because we've played like Genie and stuff before, and it's pretty good. I feel like this is the equivalent of the Sapphire Hades, but for Emerald. It's not the same, but it's kind of similar. Then we have Prince John. You know, for the discard. Every time he discards, so you could do like this turn 7, and the next turn throw it down to Prince John and start drawing cards off his quests. This is very good. I think it's very solid. Then we have Maui Shark, which is yeah, I don't really know why this here. I guess you just use I put it because you can bounce the Maui Shark. Like, this is a good target on curve. They play their shark, you play your Basil, you bounce the shark. Boom. Now you get out of that like stuck point with the sharks. And then if he quests, then you can start discarding stuff, which is amazing. We love discard. Let's go discard. Not a toxic idea at all. All right, number 10, my final card. And it's so sad. Like you were into this video. You were like, he's got all these card ideas, all these suggestions, all these cool decks. Now it's over. But let's talk about Prince John. This card is meta relevant already, kind of. Already has been trying to mess with it. But he's a 3 uninkable. Prince John Frady Cat, which is so fun. So he's a 5/5 3 drop. Whenever an opponent plays a character, you deal 1 damage to this character, which is not a downside at all. This is like Fox level mistake. This card is stupid. Taking one, there's no way they're gonna play 5 characters in 1 turn, so they have to combo piece to kill him on 3, which is just silly. Like a normal 3 drop would not take this many combos, but this card taking damage sets up so many things, so many things. It's beautiful because, like I said, I've been playing Ruby Emerald or Ruby Amber, and just seeing how much damage he takes, and it's amazing because I can just get rid of it all. I can heal it instantly, and we needed this for a long time. We had the characters who interplay with damage, which are probably all going to get rotated, and I don't like that. But this is the new version, so the chances of them not playing a character on turn 4 or 3 is like really low. So he's usually gonna have at least 1 damage. So at least you get 1 heal off Rapunzel, and if they don't, he can challenge, and he has 5 health. So he's pretty much guaranteed to get damage on for Rapunzel. I'm just like, you're getting your Rapunzels with this card. So if you're a Ruby Amber or Mufasa player or something, play this and play that and do them together and draw some cards. It's awesome. Then we have Bell, which is same reason. He takes damage. You move the damage. It's great. It's set up for these damage related cards, which are very very strong, and I love them. And they're just all the princesses. So cutesy. Then we have Tinkerbell, which people immediately talked about because 2 drop, evasive. When you play a character with 5 strength or more, you can exert them to gain 2 lore. Play this on 2, play him on 3, exert him, gain 2 lore. Nobody in their right mind is going to challenge this guy, so he's probably safe. And yeah, that's what I have about Prince John. I think this card is just stupid. It's like, it's very strong. I don't know, and the art is menacing. Anyways, that's all I had for today, guys. Thank you for watching. I would love if you liked, you subscribed, you comment what your favorite of these 10 cards is. I would love to know which of these cards you're like, oh, I never thought about that. And you want to try and play it. Please tell me. I'd love to know. And maybe I'll do this for every set. It's kind of fun to like look at all the cards and be like, I think that has potential. Just as someone who builds like wacky decks, I think I have that down. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and thank you for watching.